And it's March, and that means spring break. So what do you do with the kids? Now, before March break turns into March Madness, here's a list of activities, a very practical list, I should say, to keep the young ones occupied, happy, and maybe even teach them a thing or two. Joining us from Canadian Family Magazine is their executive editor, Robin Stevenson. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Boy, I'm very impressed with this list. There isn't a bad suggestion here. Let's start with a visit to the year-round farmers markets.
Plus, all these things are free, by the way.
Yeah, that's
which
right.
Is nice. Take your kid to the food market. It's a great place to just look at everything that's available and get them excited about other kinds of foods. It's free. There's usually buskers. It's a little bit of hustle and bustle. It's kind of a fun trip out.
And very colorful, and you're right, a lot of fun. Now, the fire station locally, I'll bet they'd love to give you a tour.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, there are some that require that you book in advance, but you can call and say, do you have any tours planned yet? Is there a chance for us to come in? It's a great idea to get a couple of kids from your street or, cousins or whatever and go and have a visit at the fire station.
I have recently, 6 months or so, rediscovered my local library. We happen to have a very, very good one on the West Island. They got DVDs, books, of course. They've got internet for people who don't have it at home. I mean, it has so much to offer. And for the kids,
it's amazing during spring break. It should be like the first place you go because they're going to have magic shows, storytelling, movie screenings. The one near us has the best DVD selection, I tell you, and you can go and get a whole bunch of DVDs, and if it's a horrible day outside, too cold or just too snowy,
and
you
they're
stay
free.
in, and they're free, and you can have a DVD,
amazing.
Like a movie marathon at home.
I know a good location to go skating in the summer, in the winter in Montreal is atop Mount Royal at Beaver Lake. Who knows what kind of weather we're going to have, but there's a lot of arenas around where skating can be done.
It's great to check with your local community because they'll have a lot of free skating opportunities. You just have to check local websites or your, community centers in your area to see what's free. But Beaver Lake is free. They do rent skates, but if you bring your own hot chocolate.
There you
totally
go.
Great idea.
Excellent idea. I'm amazed, we were talking about libraries, but I'm amazed at everything that's available at a bookstore like Chapters these days.
Chapters and Indigo have an outstanding program for March break across the country, and it's everything from like crafts to hosting a royal party, a Lego event. They all start at 11 o'clock. It's best to check with your local Chapters Indigo just to see what's on for that particular day, but it's free for the kids.
Now, it sounds like something odd to do in the winter, but the weather is getting better by the end of the week. So, say a drive to Quebec City is not such a bad idea.
Not such a bad idea. Lovely place, and you can visit the National Assembly for free. You hook up on a tour, and it's great, especially for older kids who might have an interest in politics or history, and it's a free tour, and actually all the legislative assemblies across the provinces and territories do it as well.
And of course, you could explore Old Montreal. What I didn't know is that you can print up your own map online.
You can, and just decide where you want to go. That's the best thing about the spring break, is kind of let your kids take the initiative. And you may have things that you want to see, but why don't you say, what do you want to see today? And print off the map and see what interests them.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to ask.
No. You'd be surprised at what they come up with.
I'm sure. Something that I still remember as a kid being taken to, this was in Toronto, taken to the Royal Ontario Museum, and I still remember those visits. I remember the mummy, I remember the dinosaurs, the big totem pole, and it will always be with you, and I think a trip to the museum is always a good idea.
It is, and it's nice if you go with your family, because it's fun to go on a school trip, of course.
Sure.
But, when you go with a family, you see different things, and many of the museums have free hours. You just check the website. Sometimes it's a Wednesday night. Sometimes it's an entire Saturday at the first of the month. But you just have to check the website either at a Contemporary Art or the McCord Museum and see what they have for free hours.
And then there's your suggestion of having a chat with your school-aged kid about the importance of helping others.
Yeah, the week is great, but it's nice if you can say, here, why don't we do something else for someone else? And it could be as simple as for your local pet shelter, if you want to collect blankets and towels, which they always need at the shelters, or if you want to do a food donation to your local food bank. It's nice to have the kids think about others during this week, even if it's just for one day.
So there you have it. 9 great, practical, free ideas to get through spring break.
Absolutely.
Robin, thanks very much.
No problem.
Robin Stevenson, Executive Director of Canadian Family Magazine.